doctor.
You know, I've always said that's all I need to earn $1 million. That's it, just a pen. When the Maharishi decided to take TM to the world, one of his close advisors said, this is going to cost a lot of money. Where are you going to get the money for this? Where's it going to come from? He said, wherever it is right now. And you know, if you can burn that idea in your mind, whenever you need something, it's already here. You just have to get in harmony with it. And when you get in harmony with it, everything starts happening. When you go to leave something, the only thing you can measure is what you're giving up. You can't measure what you're going to get. I thought that was a pretty interesting concept. When you walk away from something, all you can measure is what you're giving up. You cannot measure what you're going to get. It's learning simple little things that make a great big difference. You want to take whatever's big and make it small. Start reducing it to the ridiculous. You got to get rid of this fear jazz, because fear is just the improper use of your imagination. That's really all it is. And if the idea scares you, you know real well you're on the right track. See, if the idea you're working with is comfortable, you're going sideways. There's no growth involved. It's the stepping into the unknown that causes the fear. We don't want to do that. And then, because we don't want to do it, we've got to justify why we're not doing it. Well, the paradigm just starts pumping ideas into your head of why you shouldn't do it. And you start thinking, what would she think? What would he think? What would they say? What if this happened? What if that happened? Well, what if it did? You've got to be prepared to make some shifts. And understand this. If your results are stuck, you're stuck. You're mentally stuck. And you've got to change that. You've got to start doing things a little different. I have learned this from a good doctor, what I'm sharing with you. There's no trick to it. I am not some mental giant or genius. I'm an ordinary guy just like you. Well, you've got a perfect memory. There's nothing wrong with your memory. It's probably weak. Exercise it, it becomes strong. Exercise your imagination, it'll become strong. You have no idea what you can earn. And don't get hung up on money. I don't really care that much about money. Now, most people think I do because I talk about it a lot. Get to the point where you're looking at money as just a product, and you can create the product. It's the manifestation of thinking. And you've got to be prepared to invest in yourself. I'm always investing in myself. I honestly believe I'm the best investment in the world for me. There's no end to what I'm capable of earning. And if there's no end to what I'm capable of earning, there's no end to what you're capable of earning. None of us are aware of what we're capable of doing. And we let our present conditions control our thinking. Yet it's a dumb thing to do. Why do we do it? Well, because we've been conditioned to do it. Our parents did it. Why did they do it? Because their parents did it. Why did they do it? Because their parents did it. And then the school system. What's the school system? It's just a bunch of parents. That's really what it is. Somebody else's parents teaching your kids. And so they're getting the same thing at school pretty well as they get at home. Does this mean they're bad people? It doesn't mean they're bad people at all. They just don't know, and they don't know they don't know. The whole system is designed to hold you down. Why is it that 3% of the population make it very big? 97% nice people, smart people are stuck. See, it really doesn't make any sense. I committed to study this material every day and follow proven direction. My income began to change. And what did it take? It took discipline. And I was taught very early when I first got this, the discipline is simply the ability to give yourself a command and follow it. And if you cannot give yourself a command and follow it, you are stuck. Make no mistake about it. Anything I say won't really mean very much. There is absolutely no way I can change you. Matt changes Matt. Kayam changes Kayam. Sandy changed Sandy. Bob changes Bob. No one can change you. But you can change it, and no one even can guess at what you're capable of doing. A habit is an idea that's fixed in your subconscious mind that you automatically express without giving any conscious thought. I had formed the habit of doing exactly what people that were getting the results I wanted to get until I found out they were lying or they didn't know what they were talking about. He said, you do exactly what I tell you until you find out I'm lying or that I don't know what I'm talking about. So I just made up my mind. I'm not going to judge what he says. I'm just going to do exactly what he said. Some of the things I was doing was so far out relative to what we were doing, we being all the people I mixed with, relative, friends. I get a sticker in the back, came from Vanderwall, says the world would stop if it were run by the people who said it can't be done. It's not an easy thing to do. You're going to find out, I'm not going to lie to you. You will probably from time to time think I'm arrogant, but I'm really not. I'm just very definite in my belief system. And I believe it because I've tested it and the results are there. Where's the energy come from? It doesn't come from anywhere. It's already here. You don't get energy, you release energy. Desire is the triggering mechanism to release energy. When you've got a strong desire for a particular end, you will have the energy to do whatever it is to do. This idea of taking it easy is for other people. What is? Why do you want to take it easy? Hill asked Carnegie what he did with his spare time. He said, I don't have any spare time. Why would you want spare time? What are you going to do with spare time? Nothing? You're only here for a short time. Don't you want to grow all your days here? Don't you want today to be better than yesterday? It isn't going to be better than yesterday by accident. Yet it isn't going to be better than yesterday because you're taking it easy. Yet it isn't going to be better than yesterday unless you make it better than yesterday. If you're going to make it better than yesterday, you're going to have to know something today you didn't know yesterday. You're going to have to act on an idea that you haven't been acting on. This is very simple stuff. There's nothing complicated. You're never going to get a brain hernia from this. Our objective here is to turn your annual income into a monthly income. It's to turn your annual income. Now, you see, some of you are having difficulty even letting your mind go there. Your responsibility right now is not to think if you can do it. Your only responsibility is, do I want to do it? Do I want to? Does that make sense? Do I want to? That's all you have to ask. Do I want to? Do I want to feel better? Do I want to make it happen? That's it. Just want. See, I believe wants come from the essence of who you are. I believe you're God's highest form of creation. There is nothing on the planet that will equal you, so far as we know. We are it. We are the highest form of creation on the planet. The essence of who you are is perfect. It's absolutely perfect. There's perfection within us. See, all the other little creatures on the planet are completely at home in their environment. They blend in. All the other little creatures are completely at home in their environment. They blend in. You and I are the only creature that is totally disoriented in our environment. And that is because we've been given the godlike ability to create our own environment. Now think about that. We can create our own environment. They said, what do you want? I said, I want to be able to press a button, cameras come out of the ceiling to permit me to communicate all over the world. Now, I was exaggerating, really. But they took me serious, so I didn't let them know. What's called, I think Paul would recognize, called a floating cell. It's a house within a house. So then I was introduced to Richard Roeder. Now, Richard, describe what you've built in my backyard.
Well, I think we built what was alive in your imagination. We built your vision.
Now, if what was done, if I wanted it edited, do I have to have somebody come in there to do it?
No, you don't.
Where could they be?
They could be anywhere in the world.
You've got to make up your mind that you're prepared to shift. You've got to make up your mind you're going to alter your perception. Perception is a mental faculty. You can look at everything you're doing different than you're looking at it. Whatever you're doing, you can turn your annual income to a monthly income. There isn't anybody any better than anybody else. It doesn't matter where you come from. What matters is, where are you going to go? What are you going to do? You see, you can literally turn your annual income into a monthly income. You don't have to ask yourself how you're going to do it or if you're going to do it. If you do that, think of all the things you could do by doing that. Money's only used for two things. One is to make you comfortable, and the other is to extend the good you do far beyond your own presence. You don't have to know how to do something. Yet, do you want to do it? You've got to loosen your mind. You've got to let your paradigm stop controlling you. Let your mind take off. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? It's used for two things: make you comfortable and extend the good you do far beyond your own presence. Then start to understand there isn't anybody in the world that's better than you, and there isn't anybody that's any less than you. We're all the same. We look different, we sound different, we speak different languages, but we're all the same. Now, if you turned your annual income to a monthly income, what could you do with it? My goodness, there's so many things you can do. I'm going to tell you one thing you're not going to do with it. You're not going to take it with you. This idea of saving for your old age, saving for a rainy day, you'll get a rainy day. I follow their pattern. Andrew Carnegie spent half of his life earning money and the other half giving it away. Giver's gain. You want to willingly give and graciously receive. You want to expand your mind. Expand your mind. What are you actually capable of doing? Now think. It's where you are and it's where you're going. That's all you need. It's so simple. You got to know where you are. You know where you are. You got to know where you're going. Now, do you know something? Most of you don't know where you're going. You say, oh, yeah, we do. No, you don't. Most people are setting goals to do what they think they can do. They're taking into consideration what they know. They're taking into consideration the connections they've got. They're taking into consideration the money they've got. They're taking into consideration the people they're working with. None of that matters. Yet, that's doing what you think you can do. You've got to say, what do I really want to do? Jessie was, when Sandy was sitting there, what do I really want to do? She didn't want to keep doing what she was doing. But she had never thought of that before. What do I really want to do? Do you know, wants come from the essence of who you are. Spirit, understand spirit. You're a spiritual being. Spirit's always for expansion and fuller expression. It's never for disintegration. It's always for expansion and fuller expression. You'll never be satisfied with where you are. Most people are afraid to even say they're dissatisfied. They think that means they're not happy. You can be very happy where you are and totally dissatisfied. That's two different things. I'm very happy with where I am, totally dissatisfied with the results we're getting. Dissatisfaction is part of the essence of spirit. Spirit's always for expansion and fuller expression. It's never for disintegration. So you see that want, it comes into your consciousness from the essence of who you are. There's perfection within you, and spirit wants to express itself in a greater way. So don't ask, can you? How are you going to? Where's the money? Forget all that. This is so simple. Where you are, where you want to go. It's so simple. Why are so many people stuck? Why are so many stuck? I'd been raised to believe if you're going to earn a lot of money, you got to be really smart. I knew I wasn't very smart, but I was earning a lot of money. I was raised to believe if you don't go to school, you can't get a good job. I didn't have a good job. I owned the company. You see, a lot of people think the problem's goals. I don't think so. I think the problem's over here. The problem isn't knowing where you're going, because I think we do have these dreams flying into our mind. The problem's knowing where we are. See, there's the problem right there, paradigms. It's the program that's controlling you. You'll find people that are absolutely brilliant, but they're not doing what they know. See, being brilliant isn't the answer. It's executing what you know that's the answer. That's really the trick of life. Learning how to do what you know how to do. And that's really where we're going. He said, "Do you ever read anything?" And I said, "No, I can't read." And that wasn't true. I could read, not well, but I could. I have found out that I read about as well as most people. Do you know the average person reads at about a grade 7 level? You watch their eyes, it goes click, 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 boom, click, click, click. They sound out mentally every word. A book is a picture painted in words, and you get the picture. Because that.
All right, familia, grand rising. How is everybody feeling? Hope everybody was enjoying my brother Bobby P in the background speaking. That was some big sauce right there, fam. Good sauce. I hope that you guys were able to get some value from that. I listen to that almost every single morning, every chance that I get, because there's just so much value in that. And I'm just extremely excited. But first off, I just wanted to say grand rising to everybody. Hope everybody is feeling amazing. Everybody is feeling, aligned with their goals. Everything is great and getting better each and every single day. We are expecting miracles and we are getting miracles. All right. Everything is in alignment. We feel so good. We feel so blessed. I hope all of you guys also had, a great Easter as well yesterday with families. I know I did. I had a really good Easter as well. So just super excited for, each and every single one of us. I feel this week being a week of miracles, being a week of breakthroughs. We are experiencing breakthroughs. We are experiencing quantum leaps each and every single day. And I'm just super excited for all of us, guys, for real. Like, I'm just super excited for all of us because I know how big this is going to be. I know how powerful this call is going to be. So let's get you guys ready for that. But real quick, big smiles. Yes, big happy smiles, because life is blessed. Life is good and getting better every single day. So I'm super excited for it. And let's get some gratitude in the chat box. What are some things that you're grateful for in the chat box? Put it in there. You look super tanned. Yes, I know. Saturday morning, I went to the beach and I fell asleep on the beach at midday, like 1, 2, 3. I slept from like 11 to like 2 o'clock on the beach, like literally face up like this, no sunscreen, no nothing. And I woke up. It was actually worse. My cheeks were super red. But it was dope because I got a nice little tan. I think that was the first time I really got like a really big tan. But super dope. I'm grateful for the tan, right? But I'm also extremely grateful for God. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for God. Grateful for his grace. Grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for my day one brothers, my team, the leaders within my organization, Leadership Dynasty and Academy. You know who you are. I appreciate you guys to the moon and back. I'm extremely grateful for Katie. Always grateful for her. I'm grateful for my brother Adam, who's here with me. Always a real one, and I'm extremely thankful for that. Grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community, my family. I love you guys so much. Grateful for Sana. Grateful for Jasmine. Grateful for my brother Hansel as well. Grateful for my mentors, Matt Rosa, Matt Gribby, Jason Brown, Alex Morton, Darwin Lopez. Extremely grateful for them as well. Grateful for, my body, my strong immune system, my healthy mind, Bob Proctor, the whole MMX family, everything that we got going on, and just so much to be thankful, guys, for. So express gratitude. And something else I want us to do today. Today's Monday. Let's start off the week off right. Let's take, grateful for awareness. That's a good one right there, Chile. Let's take some time really quick. Let's take 1 minute and let's send out 3 gratitude messages really quick, guys. Send out 3 gratitude messages to 3 people that you truly care about, that you truly are grateful for. It's a Monday. It's a great time to send out some love to some people. So let's send out 3 gratitude messages. Super happy for my new phone, by the way. If you guys knew, my old phone was broken in the back and everything. Now I got a nice fresh phone. So let's send out 3 gratitude messages really quick. I already sent out like 2, but let's send out another one. Let me send out a few. All right, that's 2. And here we go, 3. Send out 3 gratitude messages to 3 people that you truly are grateful for. All right. Once you send out all 3, put a 3 in the chat box, and that will tell us that you are ready to go. You are ready to get into our lesson for today, which I'm super excited about. Let me go live on IG right here for us. Yes. Boom. Perfect. And thank you for those who said that they're grateful for me and send me some gratitude messages as well. I'm grateful for you as well, my sis Yara. Extremely grateful for my brother Chele. All right, let's go right here. Power of awareness. She probably went outside herself. Okay, perfect. So here we are. So I'm super thankful for you guys. I'm excited for this call. As you guys know, and for anyone who's new on this call, for the month of April, we dedicated to April for Awareness, because we are currently reading and learning from this book right here, which is called The Power of Awareness. All right, I highly recommend you to go buy it. It's a phenomenal book. It's a life-changing book. And right now we are on chapter 10 of this book. Chapter 10 is a chapter on creation. Okay, so I would recommend everybody to have their book and their highlighters with them. All right, because this is going to be a really good chapter. We're going to do chapter 10 and 11 today. I'm excited for tomorrow's chapter and 13. Then 12, 13, and 14 are some of my favorite chapters of this book. So I'm excited, for this week, because this week we're going to cover some really powerful information. So I highly recommend you guys to not miss any of the calls this week, because they are going to be extremely powerful. All right, guys. So we're going to start chapter 10, creation, page 42. All right, at the top. All right, we are ready to go. Let's get right into it. Let your people know that Mornings with Nano is live. Book Club is live. And I'm super excited for it. So let's go. Chapter 10 at the top. It says, I am God, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times, things are not done yet. Isaiah 46:10. That's a powerful quote right there. All right, fam. So that's very powerful that you guys understand that. All right. But let's get right into it. All right. So creation is finished. That's how it starts, right? Creation is finished. Creativeness is only a deeper receptiveness for the entire contents of all time and all space, while experience in a time sequence actually coexists in an infinite and eternal now. In other words, right? All that you ever have been or ever will be, in fact, all that mankind ever was or ever will be, exists now. Okay? Verse 46, chapter 10. There you go, Giles. Thank you for guiding me through that. I want you guys to highlight that right there. In other words, all that you ever have been or ever will be, in fact, all that mankind ever was or ever will be, exists now. Now, this is important. All right. This is mad important right here. Okay. Because if you guys can see, All right. A lot of people don't understand this, but you got to know that everything that you want in life, it already exists. Okay. I want you to understand that. So all that you ever wanted in life already exists. The car you want exists. The house that you want exists. The amount of money that you want exists. Okay. You talk about it, the clothes that you want, the watch that you want, everything that you want in life, it already exists. That's what he's saying here. Okay. In other words, all right. In other words, where is he? Yep. In other words, all that you ever have been or ever will be, in fact, all that mankind ever was or ever will be exists now. So that everything that we need, it already exists right now. We just haven't become aware of it. Okay. You guys do understand that, when I was broke and now that I've been able to accomplish the success that I have, okay, I just became aware of the things that I was capable of. That's the only thing that changed. All right. I'm still the same person. Okay. I'm still Nano in this physical body, but I became aware. Okay. My consciousness level increased. All right. And that's the key that I want you guys to remember, right? It is already done. Yes, it is done. It's already finished. Creation is already finished. It's all done. You just haven't developed the awareness in order for you to accomplish it and get in vibration with it. But it already exists. Okay. Can I get a "it is done" in the chat box, please? Can we get it? It is done. It's done. All right. It's done in the chat box. Okay. It's done. Okay. What we want, that's why you always hear me say it. It's already done. It's already done. You want to go chairman? It's already done. You want to make 7 figures? It's already done. You want a house on a cliff overlooking the San Diego Ocean? It's already done. You want a penthouse overlooking Central Park? It's already done. You want to have the most exclusive shoe and bag collection? It's already done. Whatever it is that you want is done. You just got to get in vibrational harmony with it, and you have to allow your awareness to increase. And that's what it's going to talk about on this chapter. Okay. So this is what he says. He says, this is what is meant by creation. And the statement that creation is finished means that nothing is ever to be created. It is only to be manifested. That's powerful right there. All right. The statement that creation is finished means that nothing is ever to be created. It is only to be manifested. So we don't have to create the 7 figures. We don't have to create the mansions and the cars and the money and the churches we don't have to create that. We just got to manifest it. We just got to put ourselves in vibrational harmony with it. Okay, this is important. Stay with me right here. He said, what is called creativeness is only becoming aware of what already is. There's a reason why he has that in that, I don't know how you say that, in italic, I think it's called. If anybody can help me, why did he what's the name of this font that he used when he puts it like in a different font? Can anybody help me with that right there? There's a specific word I'm looking for, right? It's italics, right? That's what it is, if I'm not mistaken. Right? That's why he put it in italic. Yep. So what is called creativeness is only becoming aware of what already is. All right. Yes, italic. Yep. So there's a reason why he put that in italic, right? Is to make sure and to emphasize, okay, that is what is important out of this right here, out of this specific chapter right here, out of this specific paragraph that we're reading. What is called creativeness is only becoming aware of what already is. Okay. So if you want to consider yourself creative, it's about becoming aware of what already is. So what is it that you want? Whatever it is that you want, you just need to become aware of how to accomplish it, of how to get in vibrational harmony with it. We talked about it, and you're going to hear it a lot. Everything comes down to the feeling, to how you feel each and every single day. All right, put a 1 in the chat box if you've been practicing feeling better every day, if you've been practicing, staying in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Have you guys been practicing that? Right? I need to know, because the only way that this is going to work is if we are actually practicing staying in the feeling of. Okay, I hope that none of you guys been stressed, overwhelmed, sad, unhappy, because that is not vibrational harmony with what we want. And you know what that means? That means that you're not there yet. That means that you're here on the calls, but you're not really there yet. Okay, you gotta make sure that you are in vibrational harmony with what it is that you want. And the only way you can do that is by focusing on what you want. If you're sad, if you're unhappy, if you're negative, if you're not all there, you're stressed, is because you're focusing on what you don't want. That's the only reason you should be sad or depressed or stressed or anything, is because you're focusing on what you do not want. Focus only on what you want. Okay, so let's continue here. You simply become aware of increasing portions of that which already exists. The fact that you can never be anything that you are not already, or experience anything not already existing, explains the experience of having an acute feeling of having heard before what is being said, or having met before the person being met for the first time, or having seen before a place or thing being seen for the first time. I got to read that one more time. That was a little tongue twister, little quick, right? So let me go back to that. He says, the fact that you can never be anything that you are already, the fact that you can never be anything that you are not already, or experience anything not already existing, explains the experience of having an acute feeling of having heard before what is being said, or having met before the person being met for the first time, or having seen before a place or thing being seen for the first time. The whole creation exists in you, and it is your destiny to become increasingly aware of its infinite wonders and to experience even greater and grander portions of it. Yes, deja vu. That's a fact. So what he was basically saying in that sentence is that all these things that we experience, right? Sometimes we experience them basically in imagination. You could go to the place that you want to go to and experience it. You can go to the house, you can get in the car, you can meet somebody in your imagination, okay, and then manifest it into the reality of things, okay? Because that's what it says right after that paragraph in italics, right? It says, the whole of creation exists in you, and it is your destiny. Think about this. He is saying it is our destiny to become increasingly aware of its infinite wonders and to experience even greater and grander portions of it. Okay, we have to, it is our destiny to increase our awareness. All right, I had to increase my awareness in order for me to accomplish this. All right, in order for me to live where I live, in order for me to make the money that I make, I had to become aware of it. Okay, I was sitting in my bed, over the weekend, and I was just sitting there. And over the weekend, it gets lit by my house, right? Because there's just it's the weekend. I live on a road called Millionaires Road, so I live on Millionaires Road here in Sunny Isles. And I was looking around, and I'm like, yo, look at how beautiful life is. I have a beautiful penthouse that I can. Like, I live in a place where people are inspired by this, and people would say I made it, but next to me there's a $40 million penthouse being built. Across the pond, I see beautiful $1 million yachts, flying by. Driving by in the water. I see jets all the time flying over all these G5, G6s. I see jets all the time flying over my building, because in order for them to go across the pond, they got to fly through me, right? Because the Miami airport is right over there. So they got to fly. So I'm seeing jets, I'm seeing yachts, I'm seeing the penthouses. You know, I hear the Lamborghinis, all the Ferraris, everything. And it's so funny because I remember when I used to live back in New York and I was living in my 3-bedroom apartment with my family and my parents, I would dream of these things. I would say, like, I can't wait till I'm in these environments. I can't wait till I live in these places. And all it took was for me to increase my awareness. All it took was for me to stay in the feeling of. That's all I did. It didn't matter what I have, what I was going through in my life. I just kept the feeling up. And that was the biggest challenge for me, guys. That is the biggest challenge that you will face right there, is being in a bad situation, knowing that your life sucks right now, knowing that you're struggling financially, knowing that you're not where you want to be at, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, knowing all of those things, but still keeping a positive mentality. That is one of the hardest things that you guys are going to experience in this lifetime. Okay? Because think about it. I was broke thinking about being rich. Okay? I was living in a 3-bedroom apartment with my parents while believing that I was going to live in a penthouse. Okay? That was the hard part. I went from being a platinum 1000, making $1,000 a month, to believing I was going to be making $10,000, $25,000, $50,000 a month, right? That was the difficult part. And it was maintaining it through a long period of time. Because think about it, right now, we could all sit down and for the rest of the day, we could focus on what we want. We could literally all right now sit here and focus on success, abundance, opulence, you know, just all the things that we want. We could focus on it. We could love it. We can appreciate it, right? And we could do it for one day, no problem. But can you do it 2 days, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months? Can you do it for that period of time while still experiencing life? That was the difficult part. The difficult part wasn't the concepts or the things that we had to apply. That was easy. Think about it. It's easy for us to focus on what we want because we know what we want. We know what we dream of and the things that we want. That's easy. We know we want to live a life of abundance. We know we want to be able to give back to communities. We know we want to build a closer relationship with God and that we want to be able to be in a position where we can help others. This is easy. The hard part is staying consistent with these ideas and with these feelings and with these thoughts through the challenges that life is going to throw at you. That is the hard part right there. That's the hard part. Because, and I'm glad that Chele said that. He said, especially back in 2020, because when I was doing this was during COVID that I was doing this, during the whole pandemic, when we were in quarantine and we were at home. Imagine still being able to keep, you know, a positive vibration, a positive mentality through this time when everybody's getting sick, people are dying, you know, just so many things are happening all over the world. We're stuck at home. Millions of people have lost their jobs. Every day I'm scared because even though I was working from home, my parents, you know, they had to still, you know, be there. And my parents were they were a little older. So I was worried about them, and still being able to keep that vibration through this whole time. Like, it was so hard, but guess what? We kept it. We stayed strong. And I rejected every idea that look, guys, I remember me and my brother Chele, he's on this call. He could correct me if I'm lying. Bro, we would go to the park and we would be the only ones outside. The only ones. We would go outside at night. We were the only ones ever going anywhere. Like, people were scared to go outside. And you know what we would do? We would go to the park. We would meditate. We would read. We would journal. We would manifest through everything. We were still keeping ourselves in that vibration and that feeling of that it was going to happen for us. And in 2020 was when my whole life changed. 2020 was when everything changed for me. That was the shift. That was the test. And that's what I want all of you to know on this call is that even though you might not have the money in the bank that you want right now, even though things might not be as good as you want them to be, whether you're going through things financially, with family, in your relationship, all of those things that you might be going through right now, it is important that you keep your vision clear and not give up the feeling of what it is that you want. Do not give up the feeling. It'll cost you more to give up the feeling than actually keeping it. Okay. And that's the key to this whole thing that we're talking about with creation. So listen to this now. We're going to continue. All right. I'm going to continue right there on the paragraph where it starts. If creation is finished. All right. Listen to this. If creation is finished and all events are taking place now, the question that springs naturally to the mind is what determines your time track? Okay, what determines your time track? That is, what determines the events which you encounter? The answer is your concept of yourself. Concepts determines the route that attention follows. Here is a good test to prove this fact. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. Listen to this. You will observe that as long as you remain faithful to your assumption, so long will your attention be confronted with images clearly related to that assumption. For example, if you assume that you have a wonderful business, you will notice how in your imagination, your attention is focused on incident after incident relating to that assumption. Friends congratulate you, tell you how lucky you are. Others are envious and critical. From there, your attention goes to larger offices, bigger bank balances, and many other similarly related events. Persistence in this assumption will result in actually experiencing, in fact, that which you assumed. Okay, that paragraph is very important for you guys to reread it and internalize what it was that he said there. Okay, because this is what he's basically saying. Whatever you are focused on, okay, you will continue to attract the situations and the circumstances and the people to continue to make that assumption a reality. That's what he's saying. So this is what he's saying. I'm going to read it one more time. He says, if creation is finished, I'm going to start it right back from the top. He said, if creation is finished and all events are taking place now, the question that springs naturally to the mind, what determines your time track, right? We talk about the law of gestation. Everything takes time. Okay, this is important. All right. He says, that is what determines the events which you encounter. Okay. The answer is the concept of yourself. All right. Concepts determine the route, concepts determine the route that attention follows. That's important right there. Concepts determine the route that attention follows. What does he mean by that? The concept you have of yourself, the self-image that you have of yourself will determine the route that you take. If you have a bad concept of yourself, if you have a negative concept of yourself, if you have a stressed out concept of yourself, then you're going to take the route that will continue to create more of those experiences. That's how it works. That's what I want you all to understand. That's why I want you guys to feel good, to feel blessed, regardless of what it is that you're going through. Stay happy, stay blessed, find a way to stay in a good, positive attitude. Why? Because the concept that you have of yourself will determine the route that you take and the attention, all right, that you receive. Okay. Concepts determine the attention that follows. Okay. Here is a good test to prove that fact. Okay. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. You will observe that as long as you remain faithful, to your assumption, so long will your attention be confronted with images clearly related to that assumption. You got to stay faithful. What does that mean? Through good and through bad, You got to stay clear on the vision. You got to stay clear on the vision. All right. You can't divert to something else. You got to stay clear on what it is that we said we would do. Is like a relationship, right? Think about it. Don't just because, you got into an argument with, your significant other doesn't mean that it's okay to go now cheat or to go look for the next girl or the next boy that you're going to be with. No, stay faithful to what you guys said you guys were going to do. Stay faithful to what you guys agreed to. Okay, this is the key. You got to stay faithful even when things go wrong, even when things don't seem good. You got to stay faithful. All right. So you will observe that as long as you remain faithful to your assumption, so long will your attention be confronted with images, okay, with images clearly related to that assumption. For example, if you assume that you have a wonderful business, you will notice how in your imagination, your attention is focused on incident after incident relating to that assumption. Friends congratulate you, tell you how lucky you are. Others are envious and critical. From there, your attention goes from larger offices to bigger bank balances and many other similarly related events. Persistence in this assumption will result in actually experiencing, in fact, that which you assume. And that is so true. You know why? Because even though when I was down and I was still trying to figure things out, when I would focus on, when I was making $1,000, $2,000 a month, I would focus on making six figures. And I would see myself making the six figures. And I would see my flyer dropped on my Instagram. You guys have heard me say this before. When you repost so many stories that it looks like little ants because of so many stories that you reposted, I would visualize that because I'm like, hundreds of people are going to celebrate me hitting my rank. Hundreds of people are going to celebrate me accomplishing this goal. And I would sit there and see people celebrating me. I would see people sending me the messages. I would see the money come into my bank account. I would see myself traveling the world, impacting people. I would see these things. But mind you, I was broke. I was down at the time, but I was still staying faithful to the vision. I hope you guys are taking this with me. Okay, because you see, nothing changes now. Even though, yes, now I make more money, even though, yes, now I have a lot more accomplishments, I still do the same thing. Okay, I still do the same thing. All right, now, to be honest, think about this, guys. Now it's even harder than it was before. Because now I have the money. Now I live in the nice penthouse. Now I have these things. But now my focus has to be even 10 times stronger. My attention has to be even more stronger. My focus, my faithfulness, my faith, everything has to be each and every single day more and more and more stronger. And that's what I need you guys to understand. All right. Let's continue here so we can get into the next chapter. All right. The same is true regarding any concept. If the concept of yourself is that which you are a failure, you will encounter in your imagination a whole series of incidents in conformance to that concept. Now, we can all relate here. Have you ever caught yourself being negative and like thinking the worst, losing money, being broke, your girlfriend or your boyfriend leaving you? You ever caught yourself in one of those negative, rants in your mind? Type of one in the chat box if you ever caught yourself in one of those, right? Where you were thinking negative and then you realize like, damn, like, bro, I was just thinking some negative ass thoughts, man. What's wrong with me? Like, if you ever around me, listen to this. I'm gonna teach you guys something about me. Right? If you ever around me and you see me go like this, like if you see me shake my head, it's because I caught myself in a negative mindset. Right? The other day, I caught myself, like, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was thinking something negative, and I caught it right away, and I was like, no. Okay? And then I kind of do like a shake my head like that to like just shake it off, right? Like, yo, chill, what are you doing? Like, why are you thinking that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why were you thinking that? Like, where did that come from? Like, why was that? I reject that idea. No. Positivity, right? And it's something that happens still to this day. I want you guys to think I'm not perfect. Okay, this is easier to teach than it is to apply. Okay, so I shake it off because I'm like, okay, I can't think like that. All right, can't think like that. Yes, Alex, I renounce that. Right, that's not for me. That's not my reality. And yo, I do that all the time because that's what he's saying right here. Look, he said it. Look, if we go back, the same is true regarding any concept. If your concept of yourself is that you are a failure, you would encounter in your imagination a whole series of incidents in conformance to that concept. And that's what happened, right? I was thinking of something negative or something of failure. I can't remember exactly what it was, but guess what? Because I was thinking that way, I started to encounter in my imagination a whole series of incidents. And then I started to think, I'm like, wait, I went from one thing to the next thing to the next thing. And I started to encounter a whole series of incidents, right? And then to finish off on that last paragraph right there, it says, thus it is clearly seen how you, by your concept of yourself, determine your present. That is the particular portion of creation which you now experience, and your future, that is the particular portion of creation which you will experience. Okay, this chapter is very important. You got to read this chapter a few times to really get it. Okay, you got to get it. Very important concept right there, guys. You got to see that and you got to understand that. All right, you got to catch yourself in those moments. All right, think about it. I've read this book 3 times. I've been reading books for 4 years. You know, I've been doing these things, and still I have those concepts. I still have those moments. But the thing is that because of my awareness, because of my power, all right, I'm able to catch myself in those moments. I'm able to flip the script, like Iman said in the chat, right? I'm able to flip the script. And I saw that I said, man, I was thinking about that for at least a minute or two. I'm like, yo, let me change now. I planted those seeds in my mind. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to kill those seeds now. Let me plant nothing but positive seeds now. I am great. I am abundant. God is always working in my favor. Yes, yes, I am a millionaire. I'm so thankful for this. Yes, more. I had to pivot and I had to think differently for a period of time so I can make up what I was thinking. And yo, that changed everything right there, fam. That changed everything right there. My ability to, and you know what? It was worse when I was living back in New York. Because let me tell you what's the problem right here. And this is what a lot of people don't understand, guys. Let me tell you guys this. If you live at home, okay, you've been living at home now. Some of you guys been living in your homes for 5, 10, 15, 20 plus years, right? This happens to me all the time still to this day, okay? Your mind is already used to seeing, okay, to hearing, to smelling, to tasting, to touching that environment, the same environment. So when you get into that environment, listen, guys, the moment I go back home and when I go back and visit my mom, right away, thoughts, feelings, everything that I used to have while I used to live there come back, because my mind sees those things and it starts to think about those things right away. The reason why it's sometimes so hard for people to get out of the situation that they're in is because they're still in the same environment that caused them to be in the situation that they're in. Listen to that again. The reason why it's so hard for certain people to get out of the situation that they're in right now is because they're still in the same environment. So if you're still in the same environment, you're still going to have the same thoughts, the same feelings, and same everything that caused you to be there. Okay. For me, getting out of my environment was hard. Okay. So for me, every chance that I got to get out of my environment, I used to take it. That's why I used to get up super early before everybody else when I was living in Washington Heights, and I would walk to the park, okay, and I would get away from everybody. Okay, it was kind of like my own. It was like, for example, I would be up early and I would walk to the park, because me going to the park and me doing my meditation and my visualizations at the park, That was my escape for 3 hours for me to go live where I really wanted to live. All right. So I would be in the park, but I would be here. I would be here in this penthouse on the beach. I would be here. This is where I would be. But I had to leave the environment for some time. I had to leave. Okay. And any chance I got to go to an event out of state, I would go. Any chance I got to, leave my environment, I would always leave. Always. Yo, if you had a couch for me to sleep on, as a matter of fact, if you had a comfortable rug for me to sleep on, I'll leave New York and go to Arizona, go to California, go to Miami, go anywhere just to be able to leave my environment, because I knew that my environment was one of the reasons why it was so hard for me to elevate. Trust me, guys, one of the best decisions that you can make is changing your environment. One of the best decisions. Some of my friends, my closest friends, the reason why their life hasn't changed the way my life has changed is because they haven't changed their environment. And because of their environment, they still have the same paradigm. And it is so hard to change your paradigm while still living in the same environment. That's why it was so tough, because you have to really sit there and really sit and visualize and imagine and focus on the things that you, and it was a test. I'll be honest with you guys. It was a test to be able to sit there in a 3-bedroom apartment, broke, with basically nothing, and imagine myself to be who it was that I wanted to be, while having my parents, the things that I hear, remember, the things that you see, the things that you hear, all right, are very important. I would hear my mom and my dad tell me that this business isn't going to work, how poor we are, struggling with the bills. These are the things that I was hearing. Okay, these were the things I was hearing. These were the things I was seeing, walking outside my neighborhood, right? Drugs being sold on every corner, homeless people sleeping outside of, stores. This is the things I was seeing. Everybody I talked to struggling financially, the smell, the things I was touching, the things I was tasting, low vibrational foods. This is what I want you guys to see. Like, yo, it is so difficult, but you have to find a way to figure it out. You have to find a way to change the things that you're seeing, change the things that you're hearing, the things that you're smelling, the things that you're touching. Bro, I remember when we would go to restaurants. I tell you guys this all the time. Dude, I would go to restaurants where only rich people would eat, but I would only go to eat calamari with some water with lemon. A $20, $30 meal. I'm like, instead of me going to, the deli and spending, $10 on a sandwich, let me go sit at Del Frisco's. Let me go sit at, Mr. Chow's. Let me go sit at one of these places and enjoy something good so I can change my environment, change the places that I'm eating at. Let me change the water that I'm drinking. Let me stop eating fast food. All of these things I was changing because I was consciously aware of what was happening, and I had to change those things. We would go to the Mercedes, we would go to the Rolls Royce, the Ferrari, and we would go sit. Think about it, guys. When was the last time you went and sat in your dream car? When was it? Dude, we would do that at least once a month. We would go dream building at least once a month. Just the other day, I went dream building at some building down the street from me at the Armani Tower. $20,000 a month for rent for a 2-bedroom apartment overlooking the ocean. I was like, 20 bands a month you guys want for this? It's already mine. You know what I did? You can ask Adam. He was there. He went with me. We took pictures and everything. While I was there, there was a point while I was in the apartment where, we went in, he showed us the apartment. I let him show me real quick. And then I said, all right, I need a second. Give me a second. I'm going to go back to the front of the apartment. And I told him, just give me like a few minutes real quick. And what I did was I said, now that I knew how the room looked, where everything was, I said, all right, I'm going to do this again now. but I'm gonna do it myself now, but I'm gonna act like this is my apartment. And I walk back in and I open the door and I'm like, wow, this is so dope. This is my apartment. I am so thankful. I am graciously paying $20,000 a month for this. I have the ocean view over here. Look at my master bedroom. Look at my kitchen. I am so thankful. I'm going to be able to make my espressos with the coffee machine right there. Like, I did those things. I went and sat in the Maybach. I went and sat in the Rolls Royce when I didn't have it. So I can change the things that I was seeing, change the things that I was touching. I remember how the dashboard feels when I touch the Rolls Royce. I remember the smell. I know what it looks like when I look up and I see the stars in the ceiling. The newer Rolls Royce have a shooting star. If you didn't know that, there's a shooting star that goes. So you see how the Rolls Royces have stars in the ceiling? The newer ones have shooting stars that go across the top of it. I know how it feels. I know where you change gears, everything. I know how the wheel feels. Like right now, as I'm doing this, I can feel the leather in my hands because I remember how the leather in the Rolls Royce feels on the wheel. I remember how the dashboard looks. I remember all of it. I remember how the seat hugs my shoulders, and when I'm making a turn, how for some reason with these nice cars, right? When you make a turn, it kind of like hugs you, right? If you've ever been in one of those cars, if you know what I'm talking about, when you're making a turn in these expensive cars, they kind of like hug you when you're turning to kind of keep you solid, straight on. And bro, there's just so much that, I've been able to experience. But why? Because I've put myself there. I've put myself there. And this is what I want you guys to start doing. I challenge you this week to go dream building. Look up in your area, what is the richest neighborhood in your area, and go look at the mansions. Dude, I remember I used to do this in college when I was living when I was going to St. John's University. Right? I went to St. John's University, is in Queens, but right down the street from me, there was something called Jamaica Estates, which is where all the rich people live. I would go and look at all the nice places. I'm on YouTube all the time, dream building. Do this because you need to start seeing these things each and every single day, all right? So put a 10 in the chat box if that makes sense with creation right there. If that makes sense right there with creation. Let's do chapter 11 really quick. Interference. All right, this one we're going to run through it fast because I know that we went into it a little bit with creation. All right, so interference. Now, what is the definition of interference? All right, the definition of interference is the action of interfering or the process of being interfered with. Okay, let me see. Interference. So we're going on 11. All right, we'll be done in 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes max. Okay, I'll have you guys out of here at the half of the hour. All right, now stay with me right here. All right, we're on chapter 11. Okay, I want you guys to go back and read chapter 10 at least 2 or 3 more times. Just reread it over and over and over again until you really grasp the concept of it. All right, grasp the concept of it. Okay, is it cool if we do 15 more minutes? Is that cool with you guys? 15 more minutes? That's fine? Yes? Perfect. I'm going to do it regardless, so I hope it is. All right, but chapter 11, interference. All right, you are free to choose the concept which you will accept of yourself. This is important. Yes, yes, yes. Love you guys so much. I love that we're all so locked in with this. We're going to change so many lives, right? You are free to choose the concept you will accept of yourself. Therefore, you possess the power of intervention. All right, let me look up intervention really quick. Because I get it, but I don't get it, intervention. Intervention definition, the access or process of intervening. Doesn't really tell me much because I still don't know what intervention is. Can anybody help me with that?
Intervention is like when you get intervening something like
Getting in the middle of something, or
yeah,
okay.
like, let's say we were with a drug addict, I would have an intervention of being able to like, bro.
Okay, like stepping in. Okay, I got it. Like stepping in, got it. Getting in the middle of. Okay, I got it. I thought that was what it was, but I wanted to see if there was anything else that were added to that. But I appreciate to get involved in coming in between. It's so funny that I'm looking up the definition of intervention, and they tell me the access or process of intervening. And I'm like, I still don't know what intervention is. It's so funny, but we'll continue, right? So therefore, you possess the power of intervention. Okay, the power which enables you to alter the course of your future. Okay, that makes sense. All right, the stepping in. Okay, the process of rising from your present concept to a higher concept of yourself is the means of all true progress. The higher concept is waiting for you to incarnate it in the world of experience. Okay, so that is what it's saying right there, and it goes hand in hand. Google said intervention is intervention, right? So funny, but it's so it goes hand in hand with what we just talked about, right? And what I was telling you guys. Yes, I was, living in my parents' house. Yes, I was there, but I intervened, right? I intervened, right? That's what I did, right? I did an intervention. I stepped in and I was like, yo, enough is enough. Okay. Even though, right? Look, that's what it says. The process of rising from your present concept of yourself to a higher concept. So that's what I was doing. Even though I was the present concept at the time was nano, not doing very well financially, not a very good business, so on and so forth, right? The fact that I had that there, I had to step in and like, you know what? I need to step into the higher concept of myself. Okay, who is the higher concept of Nano? Okay, who is Nano making six figures? How does he act? How does he walk? How does he talk? What time does he wake up? What are his actions? Like, I had to step in, I had to intervene. All right, and that is important. All right, the higher concept is waiting for you to incarnate it in the world of experience, right? So let's read this little quote right here. It says, now unto him that is able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we ask or think, according to the power that worketh in us, unto him be glory. All right. EPH, I'm not sure what EPH stands for. Chapter 3, verse 20. Okay. Him that is able to do more than you can ask or think. Him, Ephesians, right? That's what I thought it was. Him that is able to do more than you ask or think is your imagination. And the power that worketh in us is your attention. That's important. Yeah, I knew it was a scripture. I just didn't want to say the wrong one because I wasn't sure. And I don't think I know how to pronounce it either. So him that is able to do more than you can ask or think is your imagination. And the power that worketh in us is your attention. Appreciate you guys. That's why you guys are the best. And that's why, look, and that's the beauty of it, that we get to learn Ephesians. Got it. That's why I love this family, right? We all helping each other, and that's what it's all about. All right, so that was Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20. That's where it comes from. Okay, appreciate you guys so much. If I was reading this by myself, I would have never known, right? Unless I looked it up. But this is so powerful. All right, this is so powerful. Him that is able to do more than you can ask or think is your imagination. And the power that worketh in us is your attention. Understanding imagination to be him that is able to do all that you ask, and attention to be the power by which you create your world. You can now build your ideal world. Imagine yourself to be the ideal you dream of and desire. Remain attentive to this imagined state, and as fast as you completely feel that you are already this ideal, it will manifest as reality in your world. All right. We're going back to what we said, right? Staying in the feeling of, right? Imagine yourself to be the ideal that you dream of and desire. Remain attentive to this imagined state. And as fast as you completely feel you are already this, your ideal will manifest into its reality. Okay. This is important. Somebody said, this is the first time I wrote in the chat and it's addictive. LOL. But this is important that this guys, you guys are going to hear this over. You guys are going to get so tired, not tired, but you guys are going to hear this so many times during this book because this is the real concept of it. Seeing yourself, imagine yourself to be the ideal you dream of and desire. Remain attentive to this imagined state. And as fast as you completely feel that you are already this ideal, it will manifest itself as reality in your world. Okay? In your world. All right, this is key. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. The mystery hid from the ages, Christ in you, the hope of glory. Okay? The he in the first of these quotation is your imagination. As previously explained, there is only one substance. This substance is consciousness. It is your imagination which forms this substance into concepts, which concepts are then manifested as conditions, circumstances, and physical objects. Thus, imaginations made your world this supreme truth with but few expectations. No, with few exceptions, man is not conscious of. This is powerful right here. This paragraph is crazy. Let me repeat this again. The he in the first of these quotations is your imagination. So let's read the quotation again. He said, he was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. Wow. So he's saying that the he in that first quotation is your imagination. And as previously explained, there is only one substance. This substance is your consciousness, what you think. Okay? Stay with me here. Your consciousness is what you think. It is your imagination which forms this substance into concepts. Which concepts, remember, concepts are you, your self-image of yourself. All right? Which concepts are then manifested as conditions. All right? So the image that you have of yourself will manifest the conditions, the circumstances in your life. That's what he's saying. Which concepts are then manifested as conditions, circumstances, and physical objects. Thus, imagination made your world this supreme truth with but few exceptions man is not conscious of. So powerful. The mystery, Christ in you, referred to in the second quotation, is your imagination, by which your world is molded. The hope of glory is your awareness of the ability to rise perpetually to higher levels. Christ is not to be found in history nor in external forms. You find Christ only when you become aware of the fact that your imagination is the only redemptive power. When this is discovered, the towers of dogma will have heard the trumpet of truth, and like the walls of Jericho crumble to dust. This is powerful right here. Let me highlight this. Christ is not to be found in history nor in external forms. You find Christ only when you become aware of the fact that your imagination is the only redemptive power. The whole chapter is pretty much highlighted. This is it right here, fam. You want to be connected more than ever, you got to learn how to use your imagination. I'm telling you guys, your imagination is the most powerful thing that we have on this earth. I promise you that. Remember, guys, I was just like any one of you. I am no different than anybody listening to this right now, to the hundreds and thousands of people that are going to listen to this, whether you're watching it live right now or whether you're going to watch the recording of this. I am no different than you at all. Everything I have today and everything I've created today was through my imagination, which was given to us by God, by our Creator. He gave us these powers. Remember, we were created in His image. We have the powers that God has. Think about that. Think about this, fam. The same way you created the situation that you're in is the same way that you create the situation that you want. It works both ways. It works both ways. The same way you put yourself in the situation that you're in is the same way that you can put yourself in the situation that you want. Imagination, images in motion. That was powerful right there, Kenya. Thank you for sharing that. Right? Images in motion, Kenya said. You can put yourself for this. You can put yourself in that situation. You can put yourself in those scenarios every single day. You should be, look, guys, listen to me. Every single day, you need to be putting yourself in your future present fact that you want to experience. Regardless of what your current situation is, every day you should take time to put yourself where you want to be. Because if you think about it, the same way that you put yourself in the situation that you're in now is the same thing that you got to do to get yourself out of the situation and put yourself where you want to be. And you did it how? By imagining, by thinking about it, by worrying, all of these things. But now you got to change it. You got to change your focus, change your attention, change what you're imagining. And you got to do it through the challenges, through the tough parts. Do you picture yourself in first person or third person? Both. I do both. I put myself in the experience and I look at myself from third person as well. I do it from both perspectives. Preferably first person though. Okay? But you could do both first and third. You got to do it every day, family. That's what he's doing, right? That's what this chapter was all about. Interference, all right? Stepping in. Enough is enough. You got to have that. You got to have it. You got to make sure that you interfere. You stop it right there. Enough is enough. Okay? Enough is enough. You are who you want to be. Create that experience. Do it every day. I couldn't be unhappy because every day I knew that I was getting closer and closer. And you know what's funny, family? When you start to do this every day, all right? When you start to do this every day, you start to notice when you start to attract the situations. You're like, yo, I'm attracting situations to get me out of my current circumstances. Boom, 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 boom. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Let me see. I can't, when I go back home, I'm going to read to you guys some fire journal entries that I have. Let me see. I have one right here. This is my journal. This is my other journal that I have. Let me see when this one started. This one started May 17 of last year. Oh my God. So almost a year ago today. May 17th of last year. This was even before I moved in. This was even before I moved in, fam. This is so dope, fam. Like, that's why keeping the journals is so important, because it reminds you like where you are with everything, what happened. Look, I wrote this June 9th. Listen to this. So I wrote this June 9th. I was just Wednesday, June 9th, 2021 at 8:38 a.m. Location, I was home in Washington Heights. All right. Listen to this quick. Look at how I was talking to myself. This was last year around this time, basically. Thank you, God, for allowing me to wake up on this beautiful day. I allow wisdom and love and light to flow through me. I've been dealing with a few challenges on my team and in my personal life. Law of Rhythm states that everything in life is a cycle. The way I handle this challenge will determine how high I go after. I pray for forgiveness of my wrongdoings. I pray for wisdom and courage during these times. This summer will be the most legendary summer, and I will continue to unlock new levels of consciousness. My awareness level will reach new heights. My relationship with God will become greater, and I am excited for the next 60 to 90 days. I expect miracles and I get miracles. I have positive anticipation for Chairman 50 this summer. I accept it. I allow it. I believe it. These are the things I was saying to myself. These are the things, even though I'm dealing with challenges, realize how even though I'm dealing with challenges, look at how I'm still speaking to myself, right? Look at what I said. I've been dealing with a few challenges on my team and on my personal life. Law of rhythm. I understand life cycles. The way I handle this challenge will determine how high I go after. You understand this? So even though I'm being challenged, even though I'm going through something, look at what I'm saying to myself. I understand that the way I handle this challenge will determine how high I go after. I said, I pray for forgiveness. I pray for wisdom and courage during these times. Wow. This summer will be the most legendary summer. I will unlock new levels of consciousness, and my awareness will reach new heights. My relationship with God will become greater, and I'm so excited for the next 60, 90 days. I expect miracles and I get miracles. I have positive anticipation for Chairman 50 this summer. So powerful, man. This is so powerful, family. For real, for real. There's so much I could show you guys about this, but we could keep going. But that was today's lesson. I wanted you guys to just see that. The reason why I read that to you guys, because I wanted you guys to see that even though things happen in life, you got to keep the vision clear. You got to stay positive. Look, I was going through something when I read that right there, right? But look at what I did. I still kept a positive anticipation. I still was expecting miracles. What did I ask God for? I didn't ask God to take me out of the situation. No, I said, God, give me more wisdom and more courage to get through this. You see that? So when things came into my life, I asked for more courage, more wisdom. I didn't ask for him to get me out of it because I knew if I was in it, it was because what? This was a situation for me to get better at. And that's what I want you guys to understand, all right, fam? But that right there wraps up today's call. If you guys got value from this, put some 333s in the chat box if you guys got value on today's call, fam. If you're going through anything right now, do the same. Don't ask God for anything else. Just thank him. Just thank him. Ask for more wisdom and for more courage. That's all you need. Wisdom and courage. Wisdom and courage. More wisdom. Don't wish that it was easier. Wish that you were better. Don't ask for less challenge. Ask for more wisdom. That's the key. Jim Rohn. All right, family. So I'm glad that you guys got value from that. What I recommend everybody is after the call, give chapter 10 and 11 another read. Tomorrow, we're going to be reading chapter 12 and 13, which are two of my favorite chapters in the book. Then 14 and 12, 13, and 14 are some of my favorite chapters. Chapter 12, right? This chapter that we're going to be reading tomorrow, Bob Proctor has read this chapter. He read the same chapter 1,000 times. Tomorrow's, we're going to get deep. Tomorrow, we're going to get deep. Okay, so this is powerful. Let me put this right here. But guys, start assuming that this summer is going to be the best summer that you have. Assume it from now. This is going to be your best summer. Summer 2022 is going to be your best summer, the best summer, the best. All right, fam. So quick prayer before we go, and let's run it up. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day filled with your grace and your abundance. We are so thankful that we get to come together on this morning's call and just learn so much, all the wisdom that you've been able to provide us with. We just want to say thank you so much. And we also want to thank you because yesterday we didn't get a chance to, pray as a group on Easter, but we just want to give you a huge thank you for all the sacrifices that you made for us, for being the leader that you are, for sacrificing yourself on the cross for us, for our sins, for everything that we did. You did it so that we can one day continue to live out the purpose of spreading the word of God, spreading the word to others, changing people from non-believers to believers. And that's something that we will continue to do. And in order for us to do so, we got to do it with our results. We got to do it with our faith. We have to do it with our challenges. And each and every single day, we are thankful for everything that you do for us because we know that everything is for a bigger purpose, God. So we thank you so much for everything that you're doing for us each and every single day, for guiding us, for showing us the way, for allowing us to be children of yours and giving us the road and the journey that we need in order for us to get to where we want to go to. We are so thankful. We ask that anyone that is going through any challenging times, any difficult times right now, that you put your healing hand over them as well. I want to pray for one of my brothers, Jason Brown, and his dad, who currently needs you right now a lot as well. Father, we pray over him. We put your hand over him each and every single day. And we pray that you can heal his dad and heal him of all the cancers and the diseases and whatever it is that he got going on. We know that he's here for a bigger purpose, and we love you so much and we appreciate you so much, God. So thank you for everything that you're doing for us. Let's go out there and have a breakthrough week filled with abundance, filled with breakthroughs, filled with quantum leaps and just more realizations. We will continue to raise our awareness. We will continue to build that relationship with you, God. We love you so much and we appreciate you so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right, fam. So with that being said, I love you guys all and I appreciate you guys all. I hope you guys, have a beautiful, beautiful rest of your days. And I'm just super excited for what it is that's about to happen. I know that we're about to make some massive changes. I know that we're about to elevate our lifestyles more than ever, because the moment we elevate our awareness is the moment that we change our life. All right, fam. So I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow for chapter 12 and chapter 13. I open up the call at 9 and then I start at about 9:15. So you guys you guys are able to, get 15 minutes to get situated, get right, get your pens and papers ready. At 9:15, we start, we run it up, and I love you guys so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Reread those chapters. All right, guys, let's get it. Love ya. Have a blessed day. Let's go.